All right, today we're going to show you the Nano USB air pump and how quiet it is, and I have a dB meter to help us understand that. So the dB scale is logarithmic, so that means 10 more dB is 10 times more loud or quiet. So it really gets out of control. So 20 dB is what, 1,000 times more loud? And so we're gonna pinpoint the noise floor here. I've shut off a bunch of power in this room. We've turned off the big air pump that's normally going on here, a lot of lights, and so it's actually very echoey now that I'm talking, and we're gonna see what the noise floor is. And I think it's about 34 from when we were waiting. So even breathing, it's gonna pick up at this point. So if I whisper like this, it even picks it up, right? So that's kind of my normal voice. So if someone was talking in your room and you're trying to sleep at night, we're at like 70 dB. If I was whispering to you, then it's at like 452, right? All right, so that way you've kind of got like, what does even dB mean? So 70 is someone talking at normal, like I'm talking right now. And if you're getting whispered at, that's kind of like that 50, right? So let's start plugging in some air pumps. Give me a second, I'll get that lined up, and I'll try and hold this next to some of these. All right, for our first test, we have a MARINA 200. This is made by Fluval, and it's been running for about a month. So let's just give that as a disclaimer here. And I'm going to run all of the tests with some airline tubing away from the dB meter, because air pumps inherently are very loud when there's no tubing on them, but we always use them with tubing. So we're gonna set that up right here. We're going to plug it in. And we're going to set this up right here. 44.2. Now, I would not classify this as a loud air pump. I would say it's kind of normal. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I'll stop talking and maybe you'll be able to hear the hum of this thing. This is an air pump that if you had it right next to your bed or something like that, you might say, that air pump's driving me nuts. So that's kind of a baseline where we're at. I want to remember that number for myself. 43.5 to 44. All right. So now we're going to need some of this tubing because this has two outlets as well. This is an air pump that was shown to me when I was in China, and it's built with double exterior. It's supposed to be the quietest air pump on the market. This is the first time I've owned a dB meter, so we will put that to the test. Now, this is a larger cased air pump, and it's meant to go a bit deeper. I'll turn it down to the low setting. We'll see how quiet this thing could be. .41. So 41 is more quiet, and yeah. But if you're at the high setting, let's turn it up. 46. So all the way at high, it's higher than that other one. This will also do more like a 55-gallon tank, where that one might only done 30 or 40 gallons. So there's another baseline there. And now I've never hooked it. So Jimmy can attest to this. I literally just took this out of the box, and I have never tested that air pump other than my own ear going, dang, that is quiet. So I'm really hoping that comes across on this dB meter. Otherwise, this video is going to be real dumb. All right, so now we're going to talk about the Nano USB air pump. It's kind of got a lot of little features I'm going to show off more so than the other ones, because this is the one we actually sell after testing all these other pumps. One great thing, the price point's like $8. This here is a rubber housing to dampen vibration. It's also meant to hang to further dampen vibration. It can go onto a bucket. It can do a lot of cool things. It also runs by USB, as we stated. It also comes with the adapter in case you want to plug that thing straight in. You can do that. You could also plug it into like one of these USB banks, just like that. The last thing you can do is, let me get this piece of plastic out of here. Battery banks that you have for like your cell phones and that kind of stuff when the power goes out, or when you're moving fish, or you're catching fish in the wild, or you can hook it up to one of these. A battery bank like this will make it last for about a week. This is a very large one. 10,000 milliamps will last 48 hours. So even those small ones will last you at least a day. And you can get the ones that plug into the wall, and so when the minute power goes out, your air pump keeps going. Oh, I guess we need to show you how quiet it is. We got to take a piece of tubing here. Got to connect. We'll lay it down like we always do. Now we'll compare. 37.5 is where we're at with this. So it's quieter than the other two air pumps by quite a bit. And it's one of those audibly things. It is so quiet. Like we've isolated all the sound in the room so you can hear it now. But in a normal room, you can't hear it at all. I'm going to put it right next to my microphone. I've had one of these running in the studio where I do my live streams for the last 5 or 6 weeks. No one's even noticed it's in there. And if you read the reviews online, people are going crazy with how quiet this thing is. Now, it's not crazy powerful, but it is very, very quiet. And so we actually have a tank right now because I turned all the power off to the main air pump. We've actually got one running right back here with the only tank that still has power, and that is just to show you what the bubbles are like on a small sponge filter. So we'll have Jimmy B roll that so you can see exactly what it's like. And I'm going to go put this dB meter right next to it just to show you. So it's picking up the bubbles sound more than it is the actual air pump. And the air pump, if I grab a ladder, we'll put it right next to the air pump that's currently running in our system here. So we are hanging it just from a little clip up here, which is not optimal by any means, but 40 to 41 back here listening to all the bubbles. So very, very quiet. The reason I bought this, I want to test a lot of them. We're going to do more tests with, it's the only way I can really evaluate, because some of them are so close, you're like, it sounds the same. This one we could audibly hear very, very quiet, and that's why we ended up bringing it in and testing it, and now I can certify it's very quiet. And so yeah, if you're looking for an air pump that doesn't put out an insane amount, great for nano tanks, you know, bettas, all that kind of stuff, just adding an air stone or getting you through a power outage or driving your fish to the store to sell or whatever, this thing's gonna be great, and it's only $8, so it's a great deal. Buy them all. We're running out, we're kind of restocking, but if this video came out, we should have just got restocked.